live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcomed to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. I have been responding to certain questions. So this week it will be responding to the questions. How does a master work? And what are the requirements? Along that line, I am speaking. How does a master works? First of all, it is very important. What is awareness? Is it confined to a certain horizon? It is like a vast, infinite sky. Sky is not the monopoly of any country, religion, or place. It is spread over. Airspace can be confined to a particular country. Knowledge can be confined to a particular sect. We have the Hindu knowledge, Christian knowledge, Islamic knowledge, but this is something different. The day your inner vision opens, the awakening dawns, you realize only that energy field surrounds you. Inner vision opens, awakening comes, your understanding becomes like a vast sky. It is spread over everything, and it gives protection to everyone. This cannot happen as long as you have a separate identity or ego or nafs. Ego is the speck of dust in your eye. With that speck, you cannot open your eyes wide. And with closed eyes, you cannot envision, can you? Do not consider what I am saying literally. By opening the eyes, I mean the disappearance of the speck of ego or your limited identity. Your identity is cosmic, not related to any particular country, caste, creed, and religious sect. There was never a time when this orderliness was not there. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 1, that I give this awakening, this vision, for the first time to Sun God, Sun. Because the moment sun rises, life comes into existence in various forms. Birds begin to chirp, flowers open their petals, the life begins, everything becomes alive. First I gave it to sun, from sun it came to Manu. Manu means that Hindu lawgiver. Manu comes from the word that means mind. It activates your mind, the objective and the subjective layers. And then, if there is a harmony, then awakening, the light works in a particular way. If there is your bulb, the electric current is coming from outside. But Krishna says, I gave it to sun. But if there is a distortion and break, the positive current, there is an interruption, the negative pole is not clean. That is what happens in the car battery. All of a sudden, if there is a corrosion, the car does not start. So you go and check it. If there is any corrosion or anything, you clean the terminals and the current begins to flow. So these are the two aspects of the mind, the objective and the subjective, both supposed to be in harmony for something to manifest through you. Otherwise, there will be distortion, interruption in the flow of energy. Then it comes down. He says, I gave it to Ikshvaku. Iksh means, it comes from the word desires. The desires begin to surface. And this is how the process goes on. First of all, your vision must open. You realize that only that energy field surrounds you like a vast sky. It should be, understanding should be so comprehensive that whatever question is asked, you should be able to put everything, just as what happens when we starting our education system at the primary level. There is a one comprehensive word, science, which includes physics, chemistry, agriculture, anatomy, physiology, everything. Then as it goes on, you go into the field of specialization. Someone specializes in a particular field of medicine, someone does it in something else. But when you are entering into the space science, all these things are put together. The Archimedes principle of floating bodies, Newton's law of gravitation, the chemistry, everything is incorporated in the science of spacecraft. So because you are going into transcendence, in the same way when you are trying to bring transcendence of human consciousness, so that one can transcend beyond the narrow boundaries and narrow identities, you have to be so comprehensive that you can use whatever is necessary there at that moment. So in that case, I will go into this in tomorrow's session. But today the question was asked, there are two stages of development of human consciousness. There are certain people who are heart oriented. There are others who are intellect oriented. So when an individual, a Sufi master, attains to awakening, he chooses one way as his field, but that does not mean that he cannot help the others. When you go to the shrine of a particular master, or in his lifetime you are sitting in meditation with him, Sometimes you will find the consciousness flows very serenely, the energy field. You feel even if the eyes are open, no thought arises, or even if the thought arises, there is a wide gap between the two thoughts, and you are aware of everything, what is happening, yet still you are not enwrapped into it, not lost into it. You're seeing everything happening around you, but nothing disturbs your inner serenity in any way. This is the state which is necessary in the process of transformation. This is known as the suluk-oriented, the thought-oriented, working at that level. When you want to bring a health to an individual, do you work only on his respiratory system or circulatory system or digestive system? You have to look into all the systems as a medical professional. You will look into the various systems, and where there is a shortcoming, you have to overcome that and let all the systems work in harmony with one another. So sometimes if a person is suluk oriented, you work on that first. Give him so much of logics that transcends his limitations. He cannot put any more logic. He cannot ask you any more question, because he knows any question he asks, there is an answer. An answer is in such a way that it's satisfied his logical appetite. So the master, if his vision is not widened like a sky, has a limited identity within the Hindu perspective or Islamic perspective or Christian perspective, he cannot satiate the intellectual quest of that person. Then there are certain people who are heart-oriented, surrendered. So there are certain masters who, again, it is not a watertight classification. You go to the shrine of Chachaji Maharaj, Raghuvar Dayal. If you sit down in meditation in the night, you feel a certain amount of warmth coming to you. This is also a way that master sends his energy field or tawajjuh towards the seekers. The shrine of Raghuvar Dayal or Chachaji Maharaj is open from all sides. It just has a roof on top, the walls, and whenever the function used to take place, it was during a spring season. Cold breeze is blowing, cold breeze, and is coming from all sides. In the night, you are sitting on the shrine for meditation. You are wrapped in a blanket. After some time, you feel that you have to take off the blanket. Master can send the energy from the plane of the moon, which is cool, or from the sun as well, depending on the situation. I recall in 1968, Sufi Omkar Nath started talks on the life of Sufi masters, of Naqshbandi Sufi masters. The session used to start around 9 o'clock in the night and will continue until midnight. The room was small. It has 2 windows and 2 doors outside. So it was cold winter nights. We used to sit down, so there is no central heating. Cold breeze is blowing, but we never felt the coldness. We felt the warmth, as if there is the central heating system is operating. And at times it used to happen that we will disappear. We're not listening to anything consciously. So from what plane he is sending his energy field, this is the heart oriented, or just from the Muqam is the plane. Sufis use the word Muqam. Just from the Muqam of just the energy is flowing. When you go to the shrine of Hazrat Jalaluddin Rumi, different people are going. Different people are going. I recall at a time when during the talks, Sufi Omkar Nath said, it was address mentioned to everyone, but I felt it was for me. Whenever God gives you an opportunity to do His work, open a department store. What does it mean, open a department store? Yes, I opened a department store. I run the business. Department store means a spiritual department store, where anyone who comes, he gets the things of his needs. If you are, there are certain department stores in every country, every city, and there are specialized stores. As a common man, you will go to a place where you can get everything that you need for your domestic use. In America, there are Walmarts. It's a comprehensive store. You can get the vegetables, you can get the toiletries, you can get the clothes, you can get the IT products, anything that you need. And once you go there, you don't need to go to restaurant depot. Everything you can get, but if you're looking for the specialized item, you go to the specialized store. So your work should be so comprehensive. If a person comes from a Sufi path, his inclination is towards the Sufi path, you cannot tell him, no, I am not dealing in that. Or if someone comes from, his inclination is towards Jesus Christ, you say, no, that is not my field, I know nothing about Jesus Christ, or Zen or Tao or anything else. This is when inner vision opens, understanding becomes comprehensive. You can put all the things that are necessary for the transformation of human consciousness, irrespective of to which sect, to which particular organization you belong to. So this is what is very important. So people who are going to the shrine of Jalaluddin Rumi, his shrine, his energy field is like a department store. Someone is very logical, next one is heart oriented. Should Jalaluddin only care for those who are heart oriented or for those who are intellect oriented? No. How does this work? I give you a simple analogy. My system is Apple products: iPhone, iPad, MacBook. MacBook, these use the iOS system. Then there is Samsung or any other that uses the Windows system. On a lighter joke, someone asked me, why does Apple company does not make cars? Why does Apple company does not make cars? Why? Why does Apple does not make cars? You know why? Because if they have to make cars, they have to put Windows, and Apple uses only iOS system, not Windows. This is a lighter joke, so you can give a laugh to it, a pleasant smile. So Apple products use numbers, Windows uses Excel sheet, Windows uses Word, Apple uses Pages. If I have to send you something, you must have the conversion app to convert the pages into the Word document or numbers into the Excel sheet. Similarly, if you have to send to me, someone sent it to me, but I didn't have the app, I could not open it. So what to do? That means the two systems cannot work with one another. The heart-oriented and the thought-oriented are two different systems, just as Apple system and the Windows system. How can there be a harmony between the two? There is a way. Either you have an app that converts the Word documents into the pages and pages into the Word, and vice versa. The other is a system that IT personnel have devised that is known as portable distribution format, PDF. You convert your document, which you can easily do, into PDF and is easily communicated to the other system. So when a master is sending the energy through the pages, the Word format understands it, but he converts into such a format that it reaches everyone. Everyone can understand it. So it is not a watertight compartment. When this question was asked, you will feel baffled. How to explain that how a master who is heart-oriented or jazb-oriented can work with a person who is suluk-oriented? Through that analogy that we all understand in our modern day-to-day terminology, converting your documents, your energy field, and then the energy that flows, the sound waves. Sound waves, their format in which it can travel from one distance to another is digital, not analog. That's why long time the mobile phones were based on analog system. The phones were much bigger, almost like the landline receivers. But now, with the technology, with an improvement, the size has become small and very compact. It is now using the digital format that is called smartphones. So the sound waves are also converted into from analog to digital. Whatever you are speaking, it is analog. You cannot hear the digital. You can hear only when it is converted into analog. Your system converts analog to digital to send, and when it receives in digital, it converts into analog to make it audible to you. So never say that Jalaluddin Rumi cannot work with a heart oriented. Whatever you are, he is a department store. Each master is a department store. When you go to him, you will be served what you want. You have seen a restaurant. You go to the restaurant. If you are going to an Italian restaurant, so various Italian dishes, whatever is of a choice, you will be served with that. If you are going to an Indian restaurant, whatever you order, whatever is your need at that time, you are given. In the same way, when you go in the company of the master, you are being served with what you need at that moment. So first of all, when you go to the restaurant, you are served with appetizers. Isn't it so? Or you order appetizers, then main course meal comes in. After the main course meal comes the desserts, and after that coffee or tea. Isn't it so? And then the bill comes in after that. So when you go to the master, first the energy flows like an appetizer, so it does certain amount of satiation into you. Then main course meal is served, what is needed for you. If you are a vegetarian, vegetarian meals is served to you. Can you say that how a restaurant can serve a vegetarian meal or non-vegetarian meal? Just as the question was asked, heart-oriented or saluk-oriented? You are served what you order for, but the master is not a restaurant. When you go to him, and also when there is a food is served in buffet, you choose what you want at that particular moment, whether you want a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, or you want one thing vegetarian, one thing non-vegetarian. If you are fasting, you take and you are a Hindu, you take the vegetarian dishes. If you are a vegan, then you will take the vegan dishes. So master serves you according to your needs at that moment. And some of you would have experienced this, that a question is arising in your mind and you have not asked, and the question is answered, or the question has dissolved. Just being in the presence of the master, the question dissolves. So you are being served according to your requirements at that particular moment. First appetizer comes to you, then main course meal, then dessert of your choice, and then tea or coffee. And tea also, there is a vast variety of teas available. Herbal tea you can get, cardamom tea, or any other kind of tea. Let's not go into all those details. The main purpose is, how does a master work? Firstly, he is a department store. He has everything available. You go and choose from the shelf whatever you want. You pick it up and carry it. This happens in department store. So you do not consume it right there. When you go to a restaurant, you order it according to your need, or if you going to a buffet system, you pick up the item that you require at that moment according to your needs, according to your appetite, and you sit down and consume it there. So this is what happens with the master. When you come, he has prepared a buffet table for you. You choose the items that you like. First appetizer, this appetizer, that appetizer. And each thing that you pick up and put on your plate, it satiates you. Satiates you. So it does not matter how does a master work. He works in a unique way. There is no particular way that the master will work this way or that way. Each day when you are going to the restaurant, the menu of the buffet table changes, because he does not want things to get, the restaurant does not want the things to get monotonous, because the mind gets monotonous very fast. If you are eating the same thing every day, the mind gets fed up. Everything, same thing every day, wants always new. So the restaurant owners are very intelligent. They serve you every day a new menu. There are certain things basic. Am I right? In the same way, when you come to the master, there are certain things which are basic. They must be served. And then there are certain new dishes, new things. So always the newness remains. Why would you come to this restaurant every day? Or every time when you come, notice that the buffet will be different. So this is how the master works. Tomorrow I will take another aspect of the existence is orderliness. And in that, how does the orderliness works, and how one's limited identity can be dissolved, and how an religious person is one who flows with the existential law. This orderliness means there is a law that governs, controls, and does everything. But this is not the monopoly of anyone. Law has not been installed by any particular government or country or anything. It is existential law. Existential law. Who controls the sun, the moon, the stars, day and night? Everything is in a particular order. It's not that the sun and moon are rising at the same time. Yes, there may be certain places where you can see that. There's certain where midnight you can still see the light. That is because of the altitude and certain reasons. So this is how a master works, like a department store where everything is available to you. For your choice, you choose what you want. And it is like a restaurant where buffet table is set for you. Or if you ask, you are being served. If you go, when I went to Taipei in the restaurant, normally in certain restaurant it happens, and if you request, the waiter will serve, dish out the items into your plates. Otherwise, he will bring everything and place it on the dining table, and you dish out the things whatever you want. So in that restaurant, I am accustomed to a particular way. So when our suppliers took us to the Chinese restaurant, I was ready to take out. So my host told me, no, the tradition here is the waiter will place the items into your plate. Waiter, and this give me an idea. Master places the things in your dish. He purposely puts into this thing, I want you to taste. It could be that you choose yourself, but you have a particular way that you go only for the things that are known to you. But if the waiter is serving you something which she wants you to taste, she will put in your plate. I don't like this. No, you must taste it. It is very tasty. The waiter gives you assurance that you must like this. You will like this. Taste it a little bit. When you taste it, oh, that is really tasty. Then you take out a little more. So that I found it was a very interesting derivative, or whatever you can call, that the waiter places the items into your plate. They serve you, not that you take it out on your own. In buffet also, at times there are the attendants who place the items into your plate, and then the other is you pick up the items on your own of your choice, and you taste this one and that one, and so, and then finally after tasting everything, you decide that I will prefer this item. So the master does that. He works like a waiter, serving you, preparing the dishes, and serving you according something that you may like and that will satiate you. If it does not happen, the process of transformation cannot happen. Process of transformation is like a satiation. You are satisfied. When you come out of that place, you are fully satisfied. You don't feel like what to eat now. That question does not come. I have eaten this, now what to eat now? Whatever you have eaten, whatever is being served to you is so much fulfilling that you are satiated and you don't want. Your fulfillment comes in. And that fulfillment in life is the first criteria for transcendence. If you are not satisfied with the food that is you have eaten, empty calories, then you will look for something else. And the time that you have to spend in other things, you will be spending in that. So the master's focus is on giving you fulfillment. If you are following the Tantra path, if you are not able to give an orgasm fulfillment, the work is not done. The person will feel it did not happen that way, I need some more. So in the first place, give the satiation in such a way, orgasm to that intensity, to that frequency, that the person feels satiated. Oh, that's enough, I am feeling sleepy. I cannot eat even one morsel. This is enough. Then you can move to the other direction. If you are hungry, your desires are not fulfilled, be it of sex, be it of anything else, you cannot transcend, you cannot walk freely. And this is what enlightened means, that there is no more desire remains in you alive anymore. Be it to know something, be it sex, be it anything else. So you excel in everything. In the department store, in the restaurant, in the buffet, you have prepared the dishes for the taste of everyone. And every particular dish gives you a certain amount of satiation. When you are having a day-to-day life, the breakfast, lunch, dinner, the interaction with your spouse, the interaction with your friend, with anyone that you are meeting, you are having a meetings, business meetings, whatsoever you are doing, if you are comprehensive, the person that comes in your company even for a short while feels totally satiated. This should be when you are dealing with your spouse. You should be able to provide that kind of fulfillment through the physical act of sex. That desire vanishes for that moment. And if each time during that act the desire is vanished, a stage will come when you will transcend. Transcendence will happen. Existence does not want anything to leave incomplete. Only this much for this morning. Tomorrow we'll begin the existence is orderliness. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.